So as you can see, I use the small electric Yardworks tiller for the raised beds. And what I've also decided to do this year, I know in previous years I had a small potato garden up in this area here. Well, I extended it back this way this year. I may decide not to go with potatoes here. I may choose another root crop. And using the rear tine tiller, this Husqvarna, as you can see, all of the rocks, and some of them are quite large, as you can see. So it's doing the job. You certainly got to take your time. I will definitely be testing all the soils, the new soils that I'm going to be planting in this year as well. So I just thought I'd share this. Hi everyone. So this year I'm doing a little bit of additional gardening work in preparation prior to the season. It's the end of May. It's been a late start to the warm weather. We had snow, almost a foot of snow there just a few days ago. Anyway, all the old fencing is down, even around the potato garden. And I'm basically just putting in ABS pipe down on the ground as an anchor. And I'm utilizing the frame from the tarp shelter from Shelter Logic, the one that I installed about 3.5 years ago. So that's the life expectancy here with the climate and the high winds. So anyway, basically what I'm doing is tidying up and trying to do a little bit of landscaping while I'm at it, leveling up the ground with new sod. I'm going to have 4 more raised beds, half the size of those. Those are 4x16. They're going to be 4x8. I'll have a 4x8 here, 4x8 here, and there, and there. A little more variety of vegetables. That's the potato garden. I've just added, as you can see in the video, I added peat moss to lower the pH to get rid of the potato scab. Perhaps I'll be able to rotate my garden in future years because I'm extending the fence back here, and this is the new area that I'm exposing, and I may be able to rotate my crop. So I just thought I'd share this with you. It's probably the nicest day we've had yet this year regarding sunshine. There's just a light breeze, southwesterly wind. It's about 14 degrees Celsius. It's a nice day to be outside. So stay tuned, and we'll share with you the progress for this year's garden. So I start off with my first post, and use the line to go to my next one. And I've got 2 more to put in where the gate is going in. So now I know approximately where they need to go in the ground, and we'll continue on down. Well, welcome back, and today we are building our new raised garden beds for the vegetables as we're extending the garden this year. Here off the grid at my cabin at my homestead, and I'm just going with 1x6 board as with the previous beds, only I'm not going as high this time. I don't feel that it's necessary. The stool that I'm using to work on the garden beds, this will be significant height with just 2 board widths high, so it'll be roughly about a little over 10 inches. Then it's easier to work with. I was just in town actually, wanted to pick up about 192 feet to make 4x8 raised beds. Unfortunately, they didn't have the 16-foot lengths, so I went with the 10s. So this way now they're going to be 3x7 with 10-foot boards. You got zero wastage. So therefore I've got enough boards here where, as you can see, I'm cutting them now. That's the material there for one bed, 2, 3, and now I'm just cutting the last few boards, and I'll be using 2x3 to sturdy them up a little bit, and they'll be going right here. I'll have 2 there and 2 there. So those are the existing ones. They've been in for quite a number of years now. If you follow my channel over the years, you've seen the progress with those as well. That's the new fence. So we're hopefully going to have quite a few more vegetables to put away for the winter months here. And my goal is obviously to grow enough to get through the entire year, and that's to share with family and friends. So stay tuned. One thing I should mention that's important if you're using one inch board is to pre-drill prior to using, if you're using deck screws as well, even if you're using heavy duty nails. But I do suggest pre-drilling your holes, and when you pre-drill, just go down a couple of sizes, about a little less than half of the width of the deck screw. That way you'll avoid splitting the board when you secure your raised bed. So that's just a quick tip I thought I'd share. Hi everyone, so here's the first bed that I just completed out of the 4 that I'm constructing here. Just basic 1x6. You can go a lot thicker, that way you don't have to reinforce the walls once the weight of the soil is inside. I highly recommend, if you can use a thicker board, like a 2x8, a 2x6, however high you're building. These are 11 inches high. They'll work well for me when I'm sitting in my garden stool. So let's get back at it. We've got 3 more to complete by the end of the day. So, and as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be going in the garden area right over next to the other ones. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So here's the finished product. Obviously we've got to do a fair bit of landscaping and level it up before we put them in place, but this is the approximate area where they're going to be, and we'll get some soil ready and make sure our mineral content and everything is good to go before we put any seeds in. So here it is, folks. We are now ready for the gardening soil to fill up these boxes, and it's going to be quite a few loads of soil to fill them up, but well worth it, and should serve the purpose for growing vegetables for a good many years. So stay tuned. We'll share with you the finished product. So today is June 5th, and I just put in all my small seed in the raised beds. Here we've got some spaghetti squash. This one here we have beets. Over here we've got some colorful carrots. They're a blend. And in this one we have some turnip. Over here, 4 rows of sweet corn. Got 2 varieties of carrot in this bed. On this end of the bed, we have lettuce. And up here we have some spinach. So by June 15th, we'll do the potato bed. The potato seed was usually by Father's Day weekend is a great time to put them in here in Newfoundland. And left over there with the 2 fish pans. I'm waiting. I'll have my tomatoes transplanted into those. I'll have probably 8 plants this year. So today we're getting the potato seed ready. And I've got 10 rows, 10 drills there that we're going to set out. Like I say, I lowered the pH level using peat moss this year. So we got 2 days of sun. So it's a good day to get the seed out, split, and let them heal over and get a crust so that they don't rot when they're buried in the ground. So it's probably going to be about the same yield as every other year. This year I'm running my rows north and south rather than previous years east to west this way. So we'll see how that turns out. Now that our seed is in place, and the ones that we've got cut, we're going to let them harden over the next 24 hours or so. Like I say, we only have 2 days of sun and rain showers starting tomorrow night. So by that time, these will be in the ground. So first we're going to test our soil. We're going to test in the raised beds here and the new beds, because this soil hasn't been tested yet. We're going to do pH level, and then we're going to test for all 3. And so I got a sample of soil from here just to check the pH, and you fill to that bottom line there the soil, and then we're going to add some bottled water or distilled water up to this fill line. We'll shake it, let it sit for a minute, and then we'll compare with the color chart. Stay tuned. Okay, so I've got it filled now, and we're going to give it a shake. We're going to let it sit for a minute, and then we'll check back. As you can see, the color is already starting to change with the chemical reaction with the capsule we added. So and it looks to me like the peat moss worked well. We added to bring down the pH. The pH was at about 7, and I had potato scab. So instead of using an iron sulfate, I decided to use peat moss. Peat moss is quite acidic. So, and as you can see, we're between about 6 and 6.5 there. Ideally, I would like to see a little more orange color. I would have liked to have gotten it down to about a 5, 5.5. Anyway, that's the pH test for this soil in the potato garden. Next, like I say, we'll move on to the other beds. And next we're going to test for nitrogen. And basically it's 5 parts of water to 1 part of soil. Ideally, they recommend with this test kit to use 5 cups of water and 1 cup of soil. In my case, I'm limited and I've got everything in the garden bed already. Ideally, you should be testing before and periodically throughout the growing season. So I'm going to mix, I'll use 2 tablespoons of soil, and obviously I'll use 10 tablespoons of water. And next, bladder water. So now that we've added our water, like I say, it's just keep in mind if you're going to be testing, it's 5 parts of water to 1 part of soil, and it has to be stirred well. And we're going to let it sit for 30 minutes today. 24 hours ideally. Clearer the water, the better the sample, so give it more time for the soil and the sediment to settle to the bottom. And I will check back with you in 30 minutes to continue this test. Stay tuned. So here it is, folks. We've got the potatoes, and inside the hoop garden there, we've got covered up, we've got another frost warning tonight. There are the tomatoes. I've got 10 tomato plants transplanted, and nothing's up on the other raised beds, so I don't need any row covers just yet. And I've got a lot of land cleared out back as well to expand the garden in the coming years. So all that will be left will be the bell peppers, and that will be everything in the garden for this year, 2018. As always, I'd like to thank everybody out there who watches my videos, supports my channel. Whether you comment or not, I really appreciate all the support, and a big thank you to everyone out there who continues to watch. As always, take care, and thanks for watching.